don't hear it. Hey, we're going. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 Blackford Cross Country Invitational Boys Junior High race. Just getting underway. Schedule for today: Boys Junior High right now, 9 o'clock. Junior High girls will go at 9:30. Then the varsity boys at 10 and the varsity girls at 10.
You got no sound from me.
35. What do you mean?
No sound. Turn on the camera.
I'm not plugged in. I don't hear anything, and I got no sound, so I'm probably not plugged in. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2023 Blackford Cross Country Invitational. Junior High boys race just got started. Schedule for today: Junior High boys are first right now. That's 9 o'clock. Junior High girls will immediately follow them. High school boys will be at 10 o'clock, and then high school girls will be right after that. Junior High race is a 3K in cross country in Indiana. That's about 1.8 miles. They're traversing the practice football field right now. It's a pretty nice day for running, high 60s and cloudy and just a little bit of a breeze. Teams in the junior high races today: Blackford, of course, is here. Centerville is here. Eastbrook is here. The Elwood Panthers are here. Frankton is here. Lakeview Central, Kings Academy, Madison Grant, Shenandoah, and Southwood are all here. Looks like we've got one runner out in front, and then a big pack of about 7 or 8, about 20 strides behind him. The junior high course does a loop around the practice football field out there, and then they will go into the woods. So we can see almost the entire course from our perch atop the press box on the football stadium here, but we will lose them when we go into the woods. We do have a few cameras in the woods that we'll try to cut to once they get there. So they're going to head out towards the woods now. Well, if you're new to cross country, scoring for cross country meets is just determined by your top 5 runners' places. So the way it works is if you were first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, you add up all those places, you get 15 points. That would be a perfect score. Lowest score at the end of the meet is the team winner. Last year in this junior high boys race, Madison Grant was the winner with 19 points, so almost a perfect meet for them last year. didn't look like there was any one team that had a whole bunch right in that front group. So it could be a little more balanced this time.
No, but Jacob, we've got quite a chase group there. 4 or 5 runners following the leader. Should have them coming through the woods here. This first mark will be just under a mile.
This Blackford course actually has 2 sections that go through the woods. They'll come out just briefly and then go right back in.
Here comes our lead runner.
Looks like maybe that's Cowan. Couldn't catch the team on that second one, but he is closed quite a bit there in the woods.
Quite a bit. He's pulled away from the second group.
That may have been Southwood in second.
Well, after our first camera in the woods, they'll cross the mile mark, and at about a mile and a quarter, we've got a second camera set up. We'll get you to that as we start to see runners come through. We like to get as many runners as we can on screen here. Jacob's a little late on the switch there, but our leader has been caught at this point.
Okay, well, we'll watch them to come out of the woods and see who the leader is when they get to us. So they will emerge from the woods right around the practice soccer fields. And they have come out and they're right together. That's Cowan and Southwood. Coming around the soccer fields now, and they are right together. So they'll turn north now and go down what we call the teardrop here at the Blackford course. Goes along the creek out into the field, and then they just turn around and come right back. They call it the teardrop partially because of the water involved, partially because of the shape of it, and partially because it is just no fun to run out there. Top two still right together as they get up to the corner. and they came out still right together. So this is probably going to come down to the kick in this one. It's a Cowan runner in the lead in the yellow, we think. And Southwood just behind him in the red and white. Just about a quarter mile from home now. As they come around the practice football field for the second time. Locked together. The Cowan runner went out harder than everyone else, got a little bit of a lead, and then the Southwood runner ran him down. Behind that, we've got a good race for third. Potentially three runners competing for that spot.
Here we go, Jake, he's off.
If Cowan takes off, and he may have gone too soon. We'll see if Southwood can pull him back.
I don't think, oh.
He's coming back. They're going to disappear behind the away stands here, and I think they're going to be right on top of each other when they come out. Southwood's pulling him back a little bit. It is going to be close, but I think Cowan's going to hold on. Not the case. Looks like Southwood beat him. Southwood got around him there. We kind of lost him a little bit in the crowd. At least I couldn't see him very well. But it looked like the Southwood runner did get around him. Then we've got three runners from a blue team here. I'm not sure which team that would be. Maybe Union or Elwood. I can't see the front of the jersey, so I can't tell you exactly who it is. So we will wait for official results, and that'll tell us who the team winners are. Good crowd down there at the finish line, down by the Blackford baseball field. That's where all the team camps are set up, is down in the baseball field. Got a pack of, looks like Cowan runners coming across right now. Still several runners out on the course. We got guys coming around the football field. I didn't catch where any of the Blackford runners were. Became a pack. Comes another pretty big group of 4 or 5 guys. Well, we'll have the girls junior high race coming up here in about 10 minutes. There's still a few runners out on the course. It's like the last couple are coming around the practice football field now. And we should see the girls team start to line up here soon. got the last couple runners coming around the track now. The last runner is into the chute now. Time is 9:22, so we've got about 8 minutes till the start of the girls' race. I see some of the junior high girls starting to line up now. Junior high girls race was a close team contest last year. Eastbrook won with 48. Southwood was second with 51. And then the fight for third, Madison Grant had 77, Frankton had 80, and Shenandoah had 85. So competitive racing last year in the junior high girls race. Again, that one's starting at 9:30, so in just a few minutes. And we will wait on the official results for this junior high boys race, and as soon as we have them, we will bring the team results to you. Have to wait for all the runners to finish, obviously, and then someone to get us those results. All right, well, we're about 4 minutes away from the start of the girls' race now. We can go ahead and bring you some results from the junior high boys' race. The winner from Southwood was Xander Chalice in 11 minutes, 41 seconds. Tyler Garza was second for Cowan in 11 minutes, 43. Third was Liam Jackson out of Eastern Hancock at 12:01. And then Kings Academy had the next two. That was Timothy Peterson and Brady Dewey at 12:02 and 12:07. Still waiting on the team scores. Those should be in shortly. Top finishing runner for Blackford was Gavin Bartram. He finished 11th at 12 minutes and 34 seconds. And now we have the team scores. Eastern Hancock won with 33 points. Blackford was second with 69. Madison Grant third with 75. Cowan was fourth with 84. And Frankton rounds out the top five with 110. So a good run for Blackford. Second. Well, we're about 2 minutes away from the scheduled start of the girls' race, but looks like they're about ready to go down there. And they're off in the junior high girls race. Teams here are the same as the junior high boys, so it's Blackford, Cowan, Centerville, Eastern Hancock, Eastbrook, Elwood, Frankton, Lakeview Christian, Kings Academy, Madison Grant, Shenandoah, and Southwood. And it looks like maybe a Frankton runner. I can't quite tell from here out front. Hard to tell when you're looking at the backs of the jerseys, and they're all, half of them are red.
She definitely got out to a quick start. She wanted to be the leader.
So the course here is the same as the boys. 3K, that's 1.8 miles for junior high. When we get to the high school races, which will be coming up at 10 o'clock, those are 5K, so that's 3.1 miles. But this will be that same 3K course. They'll go do a loop around the practice football fields here and then head back across the start line and out towards the woods.
Jake, we have a new leader. Our
Yeah,
first,
she wanted to lead the start, and that was it. Now this looks a lot like that Southwood jersey.
a lot of these middle schoolers, Jake, are still learning how to run, distance running, so it takes a while to understand how hard to go out, how easy to go, kind of where to set your tempo.
And that definitely is Southwood out front. With a pretty sizable lead, but we saw a lead this big come down in the boys race. And we've got a big pack of runners here, about 4th through 12th. So Southwood's got about a 20 stride lead, and then pretty big chase pack. So the leader has made that turn towards the woods. We'll lose them from our primary camera, but we will have some cameras out in the woods to try and pick them up. Add a couple of spots.
He's got quite a lead going there.
Yeah, she's way out in front. So it could be 20, 30-second lead. So we will wait until they come into view of our woods cameras to see if that lead has grown, stayed the same, or shrunk any. But she looked awfully strong. I don't expect it would have shrunk any. This shot is right near the exit of the first woods path, and then they come out and pretty much turn right back into the woods. And here's your leader out of Southwood at 6 minutes. And nobody else in sight. Comes second. And third. About 30 seconds behind.
Is our first position in the woods, slightly before the 1 mile mark. Camera on the upper left, that's about a half mile down the path, and our leader should be coming there shortly. saw our leader there move through the second Woods camera shot, still with a huge lead.
Yeah, it was about 30 seconds through the first shot, and it's like it's about the same here. Here comes second. Still a pretty nice pack there for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Saw two Madison Grant runners there. I think that was fifth and sixth. And our leader is out of the woods now, rounding the practice soccer fields. She will soon make that turn north on the teardrop. Second place just now coming out of the woods. She's got maybe a 10-second gap to third. Clock just ticking over 10 minutes now. You should see our leader emerge from the teardrop very shortly. Here comes the gator. Means the leader can't be far behind, and there she is. So she will round the practice football field one more time and then head back up to the finish line out by the baseball fields. Second place runner now with a pretty comfortable gap to third. The race is still on for third. I think that's the second Southwood runner there in fourth. So first and fourth, that's a very good leading couple runners for the team competition. Haven't seen where any of the other teammates are for Southwood. It's hard to really get a gauge on team scores, especially when there's a lot of similarly colored uniforms, and there's a lot of red today. comes the leader past our stationary camera there, and she will be heading towards the finish line into the chute. It's deceptively far to the finish line after you get into the chute. Still got another 60, 70 meters to go. But no drama out front in the girls' race. It's like about 12:46, 7-ish on our clock. We'll see what the official results say. And it looks like we got second place coming in now. Just entering the chute. So she'll finish about 30 seconds behind the winner. This is the race for third, fourth, and fifth will be here soon. There she is. Pretty strung out in this race. Not a whole lot of sprints to the finish. Competitive sprints to the finish, that is. Come a couple runners just entering the chute. Got a pack of blue jerseys coming up. Be into the shot shortly. That might be Eastern Hancock. There's 3 of them right together. So again, we'll wait on the official results. We'll get those to you as soon as they come in. Have to wait for everyone to finish so we can get those team results. And then coming up at 10 o'clock, it's in about 15 minutes, we will have the high school varsity boys race. Looks like we got a couple Southwood runners coming across the line now. and a couple of maybe Blackford runners coming across. We're about 8 minutes away from the start of the high school boys race. There's looks like maybe just one runner left out on the course for the junior high girls. Last year in the high school boys event, Greenfield Central won. They had 5 of the top 6 finishers, so they had 16 points. Madison Grant was second with 87, Cowan third with 105. Blackford was 4th last year with 107, and Frankton was 5th with 113. So Greenfield Central was way out in front. But then after that, it was pretty close for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and beyond. Greenfield Central, the expectation is that they will probably dominate in a similar fashion again today. They are the only school with any runners that have Greenfield Central, the only school here with any runners that have been under 16 minutes this year, and they have 3 of them. Chris Ross, Carter Crouch, and Liam Brinkruff. If those 3 guys run today, the expectation is they will be out front by quite a bit. The next best time by anyone running today is Hunter Smith from Frankton, and he's at 16:42. Fastest Blackford runner this year has been Keaton Walker. His goal has been to get under 17 minutes. He hasn't quite made it yet. He ran 17:07 last week in Columbus at a really big meet down in Columbus. Where probably about 50 teams there. Fast course, and many of the best teams in the state competed in that meet. So it's a fun race for all the Blackford runners to get to go compete against some of the top people in the state. And sometimes that river can kind of push you along, make you go faster than you ever knew you could. Keaton was happy with his time there, but would have liked to have a little bit more to get under 17 minutes. That's his season-long goal. We'll see how close he can get to it today. We'll keep an eye on that. Well, like we said, Greenfield Central is heavy favorite to win the team competition today, but behind them for second should be a tight race. Eastern Hancock, Eastbrook, Madison Grant, all with pretty good teams. Centerville could get in there. Frankton and Blackford probably not going to make it into the top 5 today, but we'll have should be a tight race between the 2 of them for 6th. About 5 minutes away from the start of the boys' race now. Well, we mentioned Chris Ross from Greenfield Central. He's got the fastest time of anyone in this meet so far this season. And it's not just that there's not a whole lot of competition at this meet or anything. Chris Ross is 8th best in the state so far this year with that 15:27. So if he runs today, I would expect to see him way out in front. And Greenfield Central, a few runners that can be up there. Carter Crouch, his best time of the year so far at 15:46. That's 22nd in the state. And Liam Brinkruff is 23rd in the state with a 15:49. So they've got 3 really, really talented runners there at Greenfield Central. We'll see if they choose to run this meet or not. Last year they did. That team probably has enough runners that they could run a JV team today, or just rest a couple of their star athletes, but last year they ran everybody, so I expect to see the same again today. About 3 minutes away from the start of the race. Athletes heading back to the start lines. That's Blackford's runners heading back right now. They just ran across the screen. They've got mostly red jerseys with some black, like claw marks on them, but just look for red and black. They're kind of on the near side of the screen in the start line. Officials got them lined up, and we should be seeing them take off here in the next, well, probably less than a minute. Still cloudy this morning. Weather has not changed much since the start of the junior high races.
I don't know, Jake. It feels a bit cooler, and I think the wind's maybe picked up slightly.
Wind has picked up just a little bit. And they're off in the high school boys race. That's Greenfield Central's in those yellow jerseys typically. You can see Keaton Walker moving up there. He's about 6th in the pack. That must be, Greenfield Central must be in the blue today. And right at the back of that lead pack, tallest guy in the shot probably. That's the lead runner for Blackford. That's Keaton Walker. And he'll try to hang on with this lead pack as long as he can. So just like the junior high race, they'll do a loop around the practice football fields. Looks like those are those 3 Greenfield Central runners out front, and I think that's Hunter Smith of Frankton that's gotten in between them, and he may try to lead a little bit. Keaton Walker hanging onto the group there in 7th. You know, those may be Eastern Hancock in the blue. It's possible Greenfield Central didn't run their varsity team today. I think, because I'm pretty sure that's Greenfield Central in 5th in the yellow jersey. Eastern Hancock also has a pretty good team. Not on the level of Greenfield Central. Oh, leaders knocked the flag off as they head out towards the woods. Eastern Hancock does have 3 runners that have been under 18 minutes this year. That could be them in the lead group. That would be Preston Markley, Brandon Metz, and John Henry Gray. Let's see if we can get a shot of the front of the jerseys as they come through the woods, and then that'll confirm who those runners are. Coach is trying to get in position out in the woods.
Yeah, Jake, our first camera shot in the woods here is just a little bit short of the 1 mile mark, so lots of coaches like to get their runners' times, record those when they get to the 1 mile spot, so they're looking for that mark. Unfortunately, our second camera location in the woods seems to be out of communication at the moment. Here's your leader.
Here comes the leader. That's Frankton. And that's definitely Eastern Hancock pack of 3. Looks like Greenfield Central. And then there's Keaton. And Madison Grant just behind him. So that's kind of the lead group. There's 7 of them. 3 from Eastern Hancock. Hunter Smith out of Frankton, he's run a 16:42 this year. So assuming those top 3 from Greenfield Central aren't running, which it doesn't look like they are, then he would be the best time of anyone competing today. It does look like our second camera shot in the woods has gone dark, so we'll have to just wait for him to come out to see what the situation is. But it looked like Smith was starting to pull away from those Eastern Hancock runners. There's a big pack there. There's a couple Blackford runners. Comes another couple Blackford runners. So all those guys will be coming through the mile right about 6 minutes. Here comes Smith out of the woods. He's got at least 1 Eastern Hancock runner right on his tail, and there's a second one not too far behind. The third has dropped off just a little bit. And they will also head out to the teardrop just like the junior high. There's Keaton closing in on that runner from Greenfield Central. So Greenfield Central not running their top 3 guys does open up the team discussion a little bit. It looks like Eastern Hancock with 3 of the top 4 will probably be able to take the win there, but I haven't seen where their 4th and 5th runners are. Now, the high school course goes much deeper out onto the teardrop than the junior high course does. Junior high runners only go about halfway out and then turn around and come back. The high school runners will go much further. And then they'll actually come back on the other side of the creek. Just ticking over 8 minutes now. Probably just past halfway for the leaders. Well, Smith has lost the lead now. He's back down to third for Frankton. The two Eastern Hancock runners have taken over. That's most likely Preston Markley and Brandon Mertz. They've been the two fastest for Eastern Hancock this season. That third runner from Eastern Hancock falling back towards the Greenfield Central runner and Keaton Walker from Blackford.
Yeah, Walker's having a really good run. He looks really strong there in sixth.
So we think this is probably Markley that's built a little bit of a lead over his teammate Mertz and Smith out of Frankton. Keaton Walker's gonna take over fifth as they come around the football field. He will set his sights on that third Eastern Hancock runner who's been moving back towards them. I think they will get to him. So hopefully Keaton Walker can catch that Greenfield or that Eastern Hancock runner before they go into the woods, and then we won't be able to see him anymore. I'd like to see the pass happen.
Jacob, I believe the 2 mile mark's right in that area, which I think would put this at a pretty good time for Keaton.
Yeah, the 2 mile mark's right around the away team bleachers, as I recall, and that would have been under 11 minutes, so really good start. It's not historically known as a particularly fast course at Blackford, but we were out there walking around the other day, and it's really hard, which is beneficial to fast times.
Jacob, Keaton does move past the runner.
All right, so Keaton Walker up into fourth as they enter the woods. I don't think he'll be able to catch anyone else. Those top three are quite a ways out there, but it's a good sign for him. And we will see if he can hit that 17-minute mark he's been trying to get to this season. Remember, he was 17:06 last week on a course that's traditionally faster than the course here at Blackford. But you never know. Remember, out front we had those two runners from Eastern Hancock. That was Markley and Mertz. And then Smith from Frankton was right there fighting for second. Here comes your leader through the woods. Came through about 12:30. We'll see what the gap is. It's got about 10 seconds on second and third. Next up, we should see Keaton Walker come through here from Blackford. He was fourth going into the woods, and he remains fourth, about 30 seconds behind the leaders. There's your third runner from Eastern Hancock. He's dropped back just a bit. And then Madison Grant. So Eastern Hancock's got those 3 runners in the top 5, but I haven't seen where their 4th and 5th are. Chances are pretty good that they're high enough to help Eastern Hancock win the meet, but I haven't got a good look at where they were. Well, our leader has emerged from the woods for the final time. He's got a comfortable gap, but we will have a race for second. Clock is at 14:30, so this will be a pretty good time for these guys. Keaton Walker coming out of the woods now. And he's built a pretty comfortable gap to the pack that's in 5th, 6th, and 7th. That'll be a pretty good race for 5th down to the finish. Now we do have a few runners that are still coming around to the football fields for the first time here, so the leaders will have to navigate that. But the course is plenty wide enough, shouldn't be a problem. And the leader from Eastern Hancock makes that final turn south towards the finish line. Under 16 minutes. I expect he'll finish under his best time of the year. That's 16:50. I think he will beat that pretty easily. So a good run there from Preston Markley. Like about 16:20 on our watch. Here comes second place from Eastern Hancock. Broke away from Frankton's Hunter Smith. So Eastern Hancock takes the top 2 places. About 16:43 there for second place, and Smith will finish about 16:50. Doesn't look like Keaton's quite gonna make it under 17, but it's gonna be close. He's getting into the chute now. I think he's going to be just a couple seconds over again. $17:04. So still a new personal record for Keaton Walker. Not quite what his goal was, but to do that on this course, still pretty impressive. When he gets down to some of the faster courses at the end of the year, I think he's got a pretty good chance. By way of reference, last year at this meet, Keaton's time was 18:36, so he's really improved a lot in the last year.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like there's maybe a fourth or fifth Eastern Hancock runner.
Well, he's the one.
Haven't seen the next Blackford runner come around yet. Oh, there he is. The number 2 runner for Blackford coming around the practice football fields right now. So he'll be at the finish line in about a minute. Looks like that's Charleston Slants, number 3 runner for the Bruins. Coming around the track. Here comes the number 2 runner for the Bruins. Didn't get an ID on who that was. Looks like that was Wyatt Smith. And he was just under 21 minutes, so not sure what his best personal record is, but I think that's got to be pretty darn close to it. His best time this year is a 22:30, so good run today compared to the other runs he's had this season. Here comes Charleston. He's also going to have a good day. He's been around that 22:30 mark this year, too.
Jay Reed.
There's number 4 runner for Blackford, finishing in just under 22 minutes. We do have confirmation that was Wyatt finishing second for the Bruins. I think that was probably Grant Reasoner for Blackford and 4th for Blackford. Would have been a good run for him too. To get under right around 22 minutes. That's a good run for him. And there's the number 5 runner for Blackford. Just passing that Greenfield Central runner as they come into the chute. So once again, we'll have to wait for all the runners to finish so we can bring you the total team results. But I can tell you based on times from this season, that was a pretty good day across the board for the Blackford runners. That was Max Ugan that finished 5th for Blackford. And we're about 10 minutes away from the girls race. Remember, the Blackford girls won this race last year. Well, while we're waiting on the rest of the high school boys to finish up so we can get the high school girls race started, I can go ahead and bring you some results from Blackford events happening this week. Last night, football team lost at Madison Grant. They will play Elwood at 10 a.m. on Saturday next week. That game is at Indiana Wesleyan. There's CIC games at Indiana Wesleyan all day next Saturday, and that's a big opportunity for the Bruins to pick up a win. Boys soccer team moved to 3-4 this week. They defeated Sheridan 4-0 on Tuesday here at home and then lost at Mechaniqua 6-1 on Thursday. This week, they will be busy. The Bruins soccer team plays tonight at home against Blackhawk Christian at 6:30. Then Tuesday, there's a boys-girls doubleheader at Taylor. Thursday, boys soccer team travels to Wabash. And then on Friday night, since there's no football this Friday, the boys and girls soccer teams will be playing Mississinewa here at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Boys will play at 6, girls will play at 8. So that'll be your Friday night action this week since the football team is playing on Saturday. Girls soccer team tied Wapahani this week, 1-1. And they're also going to be equally busy. We mentioned the doubleheader at Taylor. Then Thursday, they'll play Wabash here at home. And then on Friday, that doubleheader with the boys. Friday night against Mississinewa here at home. Volleyball team moved to 8-11 this week. They defeated Union at Union in straight sets and then lost to Norwell in straight sets. Next week, they'll play Taylor on Tuesday, and they'll play Madison Grant on Thursday. Both those games at 7 o'clock here at home. And then the tennis team beat Mechaniqua on Thursday, 5-0. Girls race is scheduled to go off at 10:35, so that's in about 8 minutes. Looks like we've got just a couple high school boys runners still on the course. I just saw, I think the last one just came out of the woods. We mentioned the girls team, the Bruin girls team won this race last year. They had 27 points to win. Cowan was second with 56. Frankton was third with 68. Madison Grant was fourth with 74. And Shenandoah was fifth with 116. Still waiting on those boys' results. I think we've got just one or two runners left out on the course. As soon as they finish, we should be able to get the winning times and the team totals to you. Earlier this morning, we had the 2 junior high races. Madison Grant won the girls' race with 44 points. And it was Eastern Hancock winning the boys' race with 33 points. Blackford was second in the boys' race. The Bruins do not have enough runners for a full girls' junior high team. If you're new to cross country, you have to have 5 runners to score as a team. The way it works is you just add up the places from your top 5 runners. So if you finish first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, that's 15 points. That would be a perfect meet, and you would win. Looks like the last runner just coming around the track now, so he's got about 1 or 2 minutes until he will finish, and then course will be clear for the girls' race, which is scheduled to go off in 5 minutes, so should be able to stay on schedule. Girls team's doing runouts now. There go the Blackford girls. Just 5 runners on this Blackford girls team, so no room for error. We mentioned those 5 runners are your top 5 runners are the ones that count. You can have up to 7 in the race, but only the top 5 count towards your score. One of the runners for Blackford, Chloe Wicker, she also plays soccer, so she'll be doing double duty today. And when there's conflicts between the soccer games and the cross-country meets, that can become a problem for the cross-country team because they go down to 4 runners and then aren't able to compete in the team competitions, but still able to do the individual races. we're just waiting on one more runner now from the boys' race. Well, it looks like our second woods cam is back, so we'll be able to get both those wood shots again for the girls' race. Girls' race scheduled to go off in 2 minutes, but may have to delay that a little bit. We've got one runner still out on the course. He's about a minute from the finish. As soon as he's done, the results should come in, and then we'll get you the top finishers and the team scores. One thing we can tell you is Keaton Walker was 4th for Blackford. He was just over 17 minutes. He was trying to get under 17 minutes at some point this year, and still got half the season to do it. This is not traditionally one of the fastest courses on the calendar, but hasn't rained in a while here, and the ground is pretty hard, which can lead to some faster times. Well, the final boys runner is crossing the line now, so should be able to get this girls race underway as soon as the official makes his way over here. Girls jerseys for the high school team, same as the boys jerseys for Blackford. It's mostly red with some black graphics on it. Greenfield Central not competing in the girls race, only brought the boys team to this meet. Everyone else is the same. Looks like we're about to get started. Official looks ready. We'll wait for him to put the flag up. Flag is up. And they are off in the girls' high school race. Looks like a runner from Southwood out in front. I think that's Allison Clam from Blackford moving up into second. We'll lose them behind the football bleachers, and then they come back out, and it looks like that is Allison right there in second. That is probably Shelby Thomas from Southwood leading. Her best time this year at 21:58.2. Allison's best time this year at 21:58.8.
who's gone out pretty hard today.
Yeah, that is Ami hanging on to the lead pack there. She's about 7th in line. Ami Ugin traditionally does not go out very hard, but today she certainly has. So the lead pack staying tighter together than in any of the previous races so far today. There's 4 of them there right together.
Jake, I'd almost say it's about 20. There's really no separation at all. Clam now trying to pull out a little bit. Top 3 now definitely breaking away.
I think that's Sydney Johnson of Eastern Hancock in 2nd now. And probably Casey Hill and Shenandoah in 3rd. Nice thing about the leaders in this race, they're all wearing different colored jerseys. So your 2 leaders make that turn towards the woods. So Sydney Johnson of Eastern Hancock and Allison Clam of Blackford went into the woods together at the lead. We will wait until they come into our camera shot here to see if anything has changed. It was still a relatively tight group, although those 2 were starting to break away. Remember, this camera shot just before the mile mark. This is right at the exit of the first section of woods, and here come the leaders. They are still right together.
neck and neck. Jake, this is a pretty fast first mile. They've probably got 200 meters to the mile mark, so they're going to be, I think, well under 6:30 at that first mile split.
Here comes the second runner for Blackford. That Chloe Wicker.
It was.
She was about 10th, I think. And here comes Ami Ugin.
That's Kaylee Faber there.
So pretty good positioning for the Bruin runners in the first mile.
Here come our leaders through the second woods camera. Still neck and neck, and third's coming up.
Yeah, we think that's Casey Hill from Shenandoah in third. She actually has the best time of anyone in this meet so far this season. She ran a 21:35 earlier this year.
Jake, if you're confused about our two cameras, the camera on the bottom right is just under 1 mile. That's our first camera in the woods. The camera on the top left is about another half mile into the woods, nearing the exit. So they'll come through your camera on the bottom right first, and then to the top left. Over here, we'll have to go to our camera, our woods exit camera, as they're coming out right now.
Yep, leaders are exiting the woods now. That's Johnson leading, Allison Clam right behind her, and then Casey Hill in third. And there's about 5 seconds separating the three of them.
Still a very long way to go here, as we've not even reached halfway.
Yep, and they're about to go out down towards the teardrop. They will turn north and go into that field for about a quarter mile and then turn around and come back. There's a pretty big pack right around 8th, 9th, 10th. They're heading towards the teardrop now. There's Chloe Wicker going into the teardrop. I think Ami Ugin is in this pack here. Yeah, there she is, 4th in line. That pack is right around 10th place. About a minute behind the lead right now. Well, we can bring you some results from the boys race. Those results have just come in. It was Preston Markley of Eastern Hancock that won in 16 minutes 33 seconds. Brandon Metz of Eastern Hancock was second, 16 minutes 53 seconds. Frankton's Hunter Smith was third, 16 minutes 59 seconds. And Keaton Walker out of Blackford was fourth at 17:15. For the team scores, Eastern Hancock won with 33. Madison Grant was second with 49. Centerville was third with 78. Frankton was fourth with 109. Greenfield Central fifth with 115. Blackford was sixth with 135. And Shenandoah seventh, 175.
Jake, the leader's just coming back into view now. Yeah,
and it looks like it's still Sydney Johnson out front. Casey Hill looks like she's moved into second. Allison Clam in third, but they're all still pretty much right there.
So unlike the junior high race, which is a little bit shorter, the girls and boys varsity will make 2 trips through the woods. So they've still got probably well over a mile to go.
Yeah, maybe 1.25 miles from where they are now. Go around the practice football fields again and then traverse that same path they did right at the start of the race and head back into the woods.
Keaton Walker there cheering on the girls' team.
Comes Chloe Wicker around the football fields. If we move back a little bit, there's that pack again. Still pretty tight pack there. Ami Ugan right in the middle of it. Looks like a couple runners from Eastern Hancock, maybe a couple from Frankton, and then Ugan from Blackford. Although she's maybe trying to move to the front of that group. We'll see if she can get there and maybe even break away. Well, Sydney Johnson remains out front. She's building on that gap. She's heading out towards the woods now. Still Casey Hill in second, and then Allison Clam in third. They're relatively close together.
Did you happen to catch the 2-mile split?
I did not. They're at 14 minutes now, and they're probably about a minute past the 2-mile split.
So are we thinking mid-20s for the leaders?
That would be a really good time for any of these people. Fastest time of anyone coming into this race was 21:35 by Casey Hill. Sydney Johnson, who we think is leading, her best time this year is at 22:26, so anything under 22 would be a huge day for her, and I think it's going to be even better than that. I'd be surprised if it's under 21.
Here comes Ugan around the corner, still in the front of that group.
I think Kaylee Faber will be coming into this shot here shortly. Blackford's number 4 runner. There she is, going around the corner now. We await the leaders at the exit of the woods. And here she comes. That's still Eastern Hancock out front. She's got a big lead now.
Oh, tremendous lead.
In fact, that was maybe about 20 seconds to Casey Hill. Allison not far behind. And maybe Centerville in fourth.
Jake, when the leaders come into our second camera here on the top left, there'll be less than 1K to go, less than 1K. Roughly, I don't know, what, 4 minutes? 3.5?
Yeah, something like that. Right around 4 minutes, I would think.
We've got the leader coming through now. She should be on pace to hopefully break the 21-minute barrier. Glam coming through now, 17:20. Still potential to break the 21-minute barrier, which would be a good improvement for her this year. She's been running closer to 22 this year, although her personal best is much closer to 20:30, but that's usually later in the season.
Yeah, Sydney Johnson out front for Eastern Hancock. She's just a freshman, so still improving a lot every week probably. She's coming out of the woods now, and if she's even close to the 21-minute mark, that'll be a huge, huge run for her.
We'll pick her up in a moment. Still want to see some of these runners run through the woods. Now our leader has a sizable lead, probably 100 meters. Second place just exiting the woods, and now third place exiting the woods. Still no really close gap there. We'll switch to the press box camera.
Yeah, we could have a race for third. Looks like fourth place is closing a little bit, but still maybe a 5-10 second gap there.
We're coming to the last 600 meters or so. Fourth place runners, coaches cheering her on.
Yeah, I think that's Centerville in fourth. Centerville is one of the best complete teams at the race this year. Although nobody is dominating this race like we saw Eastern Hancock do in the boys' race. So we will have to wait and see what the kind of team scores end up.
This is shaping up to be quite a finish here for third, Jake.
They're coming around the corner now, and it's down to about 2 or 3 seconds.
Coming up at about 20 minutes on the clock, so I think they will be able to not bring this in under less than 2 minutes to go from here, I would think.
Yeah, it should still be a good time. I'm really impressed with the time that Johnson is going to do here.
We're going to let her finish. We're going to stick with this third place battle.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know when Johnson finishes, because there's no competition up there. It's just a timing consideration, and it'll be a really good time for her. I don't think she's quite going to be under 21, but it'll be just a tick over. Johnson heading into the chute now. She's all alone. Johnson finishes right at 21 minutes on my watch. Comes Casey Hill finishing. 21:10 for her. That's still great time for Casey Hill. And here comes the battle for third.
Oh, no.
It's gonna be close. I think, I don't know. I don't know. That was right around 21 minutes, 30 seconds on my watch. Still a pretty good time for both of them.
Jake, are you implying that the time on the screen is slow?
Yes.
Wicker's approaching the finish now. Blackford's third. Blackford's second.
Yeah, and I haven't seen. Maybe Eastern Hancock has had at least 3 now, so they might be in the best position as far as a team result. Here comes Chloe Wicker. Good run for her. Will probably be a season best for Chloe as well. Her best time this year so far is a 23:15. She finishes well under 23 minutes. Here comes Blackford's third runner. That's Ami Ugin. Her best time so far this year at 24:10. She'll be way under that. She's going to beat that by a minute today. So the course is running fast right now.
Always nice to run your home course as well, especially with twists and turns in the woods. You know them, your competitors may not.
It's Kaylee Faber coming in. Freshman for Blackford.
Very strong finish.
So a good run for all the Blackford girls today. Got one more Blackford runner still on the course. That's Kylie Faber, and she is going to break her PR, I imagine. Her best time so far, she's also a freshman. Her best time so far is a 27:04. And she's going to be under 26 today.
Go, Abby! You got this! Go!
Faber into the chute now.
Hey.
And I've got it about 25:30 across the line.
I know. I did. I was like,
So that's a PR by a minute and a half.
Well, Jacob, the Blackford girls may not win this meet as a team, but I think overall the coach and the runners should be pretty happy. A lot of PRs today, significant PRs. Beautiful day here at Blackford. I think a good event overall. I think the athletic department, the teams, the runners, everybody should be pretty pleased.
Yeah, I think every single runner on the girls' team had a season best, and I think most of them on the boys' team.
But you're telling me, since our clock on the screen maybe was a little fast, that Keaton's time was not a 17:04. Do you know what his official time was?
Yes, I do. I would have to look it up. It was a 17:15.
17:15. So our clock was about 10 seconds slow then, or 10 seconds fast.
Correct. He was, yeah, just a few seconds slower than he was last week. Well, it looked like maybe Eastern Hancock had the most runners up at the front in this race, but we will have to wait and see what the official results are. We'll have to wait for everybody to finish. Then we'll get the results and we will bring them to you. Top 4 runners were all from different teams. Top 5, actually. Looks like we've got our last runner coming out of the woods now. So she'll be finishing here in a few minutes, and then we will get you those results.
Jacob, this was a overcast day to begin with. A little cool, pretty nice for runners. But as the races are finishing up, we're starting to get a little sunshine here. A little light on what should be a nice award ceremony here in a little bit. This is senior day for the Blackford runners, this being the one and only home meet that they have per year. So we'll be recognizing the seniors here in a little bit, as well as passing out awards.
Nice to have a home meet. A lot of schools never get the chance to run an invite at home. Used to be more common that you'd run just against 1 or 2 other schools, and then you'd run at home regularly, but the model has kind of shifted to where now everyone runs on Saturday mornings at these big invites.
I think the runners like it. It's a little bit bigger atmosphere, more runners, a little bit more excitement. And I think it also makes your training a little easier. You can kind of have a consistent weekly training schedule and not have to throw a race in the middle, which for most sports maybe wouldn't be a big deal, but when you're training as a distance runner, you kind of like to have that regular schedule.
It's almost like football, where you know what day you're going to compete, and then you can plan out the weeks and do the same thing every week.
Our final runner here has about 200 meters to go.
As soon as the last runner finishes up, we should be able to get you those team results. Final runner coming into the chute now.
All the runners have finished now. We're just waiting for the scores to populate. We'll let you know who the winner was. Blackford performed well, but it didn't look like they quite had the numbers to win the team score.
No, but I would expect they're at least in the top 3. But we will see. Next week, Blackford will head to South Adams for a big invite there. Usually about 20 teams in that one. And then in 2 weeks, they go to New Haven, which is one of the biggest meets in the state. All right, well, the results are in. So we were wrong that whole time about Sydney Johnson being the leader.
You were wrong.
It was not her. It was a blue jersey. It looked exactly the same. That was Kendra Shipman of Centerville who won. 20 minutes, 59 and a half seconds. Her best time coming into today was a 22:28. So she knocked off a minute and a half to win today. Casey Hill of Shenandoah was second, 21:10. And Shelby Thomas did nip Allison Clam at the very end by 0.2 of a second. So Shelby Thomas of Southwood finishes third. Allie was fourth. And then Anna Nevels of Centerville was fifth. So Centerville did have 2 in the top 5. Let's take a look at the team scores. And the champion in the girls' race was, in fact, Centerville with 34. Blackford was second with 58. Frankton was third with 64. So still a good performance for the Bruins. Finished second. Centerville had 3 in the top 10. It was going to be hard to beat that. Other results from the Blackford team. Chloe Wicker was 9th, 22 minutes and 41 seconds. Ami Ugan was 12th, 23 minutes and 12 seconds. Kaylee Faber was 20th, 23:53. And Kylie Faber was 30th and 25:28. All of those were season bests for all the Blackford runners. So overall, a good day for the Bruins, finishing second in the girls' race. They finished second in the junior high boys' race as well. There are about 10 teams here in each division.
Well, Jake, awards are about to get underway. I don't think we're going to stick around for that. But congratulations to all the Bruin runners. Congratulations to the seniors on a great 4 years here at Blackford. And on behalf of Jacob Clam, Dan Hammond, our roving cameraman, our 2 unnamed tripods in the woods, thank you for joining us today. Sorry if we had some technical difficulties with our listing on the YouTube website. We'll work on that. But thank you to those of you who were able to join us. And you'll be able to watch this on replay if you so desire. So we'll see you. When's our next football game, Jake? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.